So Kelsey Mitchell had a unbelievable game yesterday. An absolutely unbelievable game. Like up there with the best games of her career. Well, sorry, up there with the best halves of her career. And that's one of those things where you're like, okay, yeah, this is what Kelsey Mitchell can do. And the thing is with Kelsey Mitchell is there's a big diff. Kelsey Mitchell first option hoops and Kelsey Mitchell second option hoops are very different things. Like Kelsey Mitchell first option hoops, the reason I don't like her as a first option is purely because when she's your first option, your team wins or loses based on how she shoots the ball. A little bit like Arike with Dallas. Like Dallas literally win or lose back in the day based on how well Arike shoots. And to an extent this year, the Dallas Wings tend to win or lose based on how well Arike shoots. Whereas when Kelsey's playing with Caitlin, just even her gravity, her off-ball movement, she tends to shoot more efficiently. And there are games where she'll give you, say, 9 points, or she'll give you an efficient 15, and they'll win the game. And that's the difference between like a first option and a main scorer. Is that like, for example, like Caitlin Clark, who is the first option in that team, or Aaliyah Boston, who should be the first option, realistically, when Caitlin's gone, is like their scoring isn't everything. It's like if they're not scoring well, they facilitate for others. And that's not just getting high assist numbers. They play make for others. They make sure the offense is taken. They make sure that other players are getting theirs. Like if Kelsey Mitchell's not playing well, she's going to shoot her way out of it. Whereas if like an Aaliyah or a Caitlin aren't playing well and Kelsey's playing well, they're going to make sure Kelsey gets that ball. So that's just my opinion where it goes to the kind of in the hierarchy of the fever. For me, their best player is Caitlin Clark when she's healthy. When she's not healthy, their best player is Aaliyah Boston. Kelsey Mitchell is just a gunner, and she might be the best in the league at that. If you guys agree or disagree, subscribe. We're trying to hit 56.75k by the end of the day. But every time Kelsey Mitchell has a good game, and this is one of those things where people are like, oh, why do fans of Caitlin Clark not want to see Kelsey Mitchell succeed? Because this shit happens. Because this happens. You've got Azzi Fudd's dad, and this is like, you can tell Azzi Fudd's dad's literally in the as we call Hatelin space. As in, they will only cheer Kelsey Mitchell if it's to spite Caitlin Clark. And anyone in the Caitlin vicinity, as in, you know what, like, you'll cheer certain players to spite Caitlin, or if there's a player that's, you know, a little bit closer to Caitlin Clark, they're fair game too. So the first tweet, we'll talk about this one a little bit later, but out of nowhere, I don't know what Hull did or said to Mabry, because Mabry is killing and talking that talks. Like, that's Marina Mabry. Lexi Hull did a good job on Marina Mabry. Marina Mabry just hit circuit shots. But, like, he has literally not tweeted about Lexi Hull in his life other than to shit talk Lexi Hull here. And then this is my favorite tweet. This is my favorite tweet in general that we've seen over the last few days. It's absolutely amazing at what Kelsey Mitchell's doing with the Fever. I've said it for the last 2 seasons, but people have chosen to overlook her prolific scoring ability as if it's not top-notch. Kelsey Mitchell has been a prolific scorer for 8 seasons. Kelsey Mitchell was a tank commander for 6 seasons. Like, there is a prolific one-dimensional scorers who need, like, prolific one-dimensional scorers who over-dribble, which is, in fairness, at times what Kelsey Mitchell is. There's good Kelsey, there's bad Kelsey. I thought yesterday was what the best case scenario for bad Kelsey. As in, I don't mean that she's playing bad. I mean, when it comes to Kelsey Mitchell, when she's overshooting the ball, when she's over dribbling the ball, when she's trying to will a team to a win, more often than not, she'll shoot a team out of a game and shoot a team into a game. It's the Seattle Jewel Lloyd effect. It's the Arike effect. But we've all said it with Arike. When Arike is on, she can win you a game by herself. Ryan Howard's very similar. When Ryan Howard's off, she can lose you a game by herself. And same with Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell being off in the first half was the reason we were down 21 points. Kelsey Mitchell being on is the reason we won the game. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, but as much as her scoring is consistent, she can be much more efficient and score much more efficient times. It was unbelievable in OT. I give her credit where credit's due there. But nobody has overlooked it the past 2 seasons. By the way, the past 2 seasons, what has changed for the Indiana Fever the past 2 seasons? They're now expected to win because they have Caitlin Clark. That's what's changed. That's what's changed. And being like, you know what, oh, she's been overlooked the past 2 seasons. The last 2 seasons have been the best 2 seasons of Kelsey Mitchell's career. Why? Because in general, She's tending to play off the ball more. She's got better players around her. She can have bad games and the team can win. She's not really as much of a tank commander anymore. And this is the first time he's mentioned Kelsey Mitchell. First time he's mentioned Kelsey Mitchell. And, like, I'm sorry, what the hell's going to happen if the Fever screw up and end up in the lottery? Because I'm sorry, what's the lottery going to be? Seattle? Seattle are not going to take Azzi Fudd. Seattle do not need Azzi Fudd. They absolutely don't need Azzi Fudd, who is, by the way, is 23 years old. Like, she's, 4 years older than Awafam? So one is going to be Awafam. Some team is going to be dumb enough to take Lauren Betts. Like, any team who takes Lauren Betts in the lottery is an idiot. But someone's going to be dumb enough to take Lauren Betts. Flau'jae is a better prospect. Olivia Moss is a better prospect than Azzi. And then you've got Flau'jae Johnson, who has a bigger name, more mobile, more explosive player than Azzi. If the Indiana Fever are in the lottery, I think an expansion team will take her. I don't think she falls to the Fever out of the lottery. I think Azzi's going to be taken somewhere in the top 7 picks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But if the Fever end up in the top 5, the most likely scenario is that the Fever ends up in Indiana. Not the Fever, Jesus. The Fever obviously end up in Indiana. That Azzi ends up in Indiana. And what the hell is happening? Like, you can tell when people are hyping Kelsey Mitchell just to take a shot at Caitlin. Just like there's times where you can see people going at Kelsey Mitchell in general just to or diminishing Kelsey Mitchell just to overtalk Caitlin. Like, it is what it is. With Kelsey Mitchell, I always say this, and people are like, "Oh, you're a Kelsey Mitchell." Hey, it's like, no. I think she's got the devil on one shoulder telling her, go dribble 17 times and shoot a long 2. She's got the angel on her right shoulder saying, let's cut. One dribble to the basket. Nobody can stop me off my first step. If nothing's on, let me give the ball to somebody else and relocate. And when I relocate and get open, I'm making every shot. One dribble. If I'm shooting a 3 off one dribble, fine. Once I take the second dribble, do not shoot that ball. Like, if she's listening to the angel on one shoulder, Kelsey Mitchell's the best 2 guard in this league. If she's listening to the devil on the other shoulder, she's Arike. And no, we've seen this season, nobody wants Arike. Nobody wants a player to be Arike. But yeah, looking at the responses, it's interesting. Not sure where you said it. I've only seen one post about her, and it was yesterday. She's getting the most media attention she ever has during her career. So better late than never. I'm so glad she's finally getting her deserved flowers. And that's why for 7 years, Kelsey's the first option, hasn't taken Fever to playoffs. And people never overlooked her scoring. The Fever were just a losing team, so nobody watched them until Caitlin was drafted, who I've been calling her the best scoring guard in the league for 2 years. She's the best scoring guard in the league. Like, she is the best scoring guard. Overlooked. She made an all-star because people recognizing her. Entire league wants to ignore the fact that a rising tide lifts all boats. I've said it for the past seasons. Kelsey Mitchell's been in the league for 8 years, but you only wanted to start glazing her last year. Wonder what changed in 2024. That's exactly it. It's exactly it. Like, it is literally like hyping up Kelsey Mitchell just to take a shot at Caitlin Clark when the reality is Kelsey Mitchell is at her best playing beside Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is at her best when Kelsey Mitchell can give you 30, because when Kelsey Mitchell is giving you 25 points a game, it means you can't double team Caitlin. Like, there are games where Caitlin's off, and we saw it against Seattle. I think Kelsey Mitchell and Leah combined for 50. Like, Kelsey Mitchell scores more points with Caitlin Clark there. And I don't think people realize that. She scores more points more efficiently with Caitlin Clark there. Aaliyah Boston scores or is way better with Caitlin Clark. This team is better with Caitlin Clark. And when it comes to Kelsey Mitchell, obviously she's going to get all the praise yesterday. She's the number 1 option, but in the same way, she's going to get all the criticism when they lose, because let's be real, Kelsey Mitchell doesn't get that much criticism when the team loses as the 3rd option. We saw it in the playoffs last year where Kelsey Mitchell was unplayably bad, and it was still Christy Sides got the blame. So, look, it is what it is. But yeah, it's going to be hilarious if Azzi Fudd ever ends up on the Fever. Or you better believe it, Azzi Fudd's going to get booed every time she touches the ball against Indiana. And that's one of the funny things is, like, families of players in this league, the amount of times families of players will get their family members that are in the league in trouble, like, it's a double-digit thing.